from nothing. Light reflects itself to crystals, three-dimensional, repeated pattern reality. From nothing. It is not black, but transparency. And then light, bending, spectrum and separation. For one to perceive itself creates form through the explosion of supernova. Light bending to project an image of itself, mirrors of itself, to understand itself, to grow in darkness. There is not a need for light. You think that you need eyes to see and a mind to know and remember, but you already know and remember. Your problem is simply that you have been re-educated through the eyes of man who only sees what can be seen by the false senses of men, only thinks in terms of concept of men. But light is not color. Light is not the biological eye. Light is not sight, but to see is to believe. And what you believe has been gifted you, like a child who is taught limitation of its own light. You can do this, but cannot do that. Your trauma is only as real as you give your light to it. When you awoke in this biology of crystals and shined your light, you were happy, and there was magic everywhere to see. To be like a child was to know no limitation. Everything was magic, grand. But men taught you its ways. And in your naivete, you trusted man to guide your path. And where have they guided you but into a line of conformity with limitation, guiding your light towards their darkness. And what do you see? You see only what they have directed your sight to see. Control. Control of your very mind and belief on what is possible, what is right, and what is wrong. Do as I say, not as I do. So I may stand on your back, so I may exalt myself off your belief. 100 monkeys gathering bananas for the few. And we have been trained like slaves. And Stockholm Syndrome. We love our captors, for they have trained us like dogs to wag our tails for scraps from the table. But dragons are not dogs, and we do not eat scraps from some master who gluttons themselves off abundance that belongs to all. The dragon's appetite is much and many, for it must grow. In the dark, one awakens. Movement creates light, bending in this crystal reality. In your crystal form, you shall remember the 12th of November, the day after light had bent. There is a power greater even than love. A synapse, supernova, which fires a light. But light is not simply one spectrum beyond dark. Truth matters. It matters what one is, what one does, what one will do. Your only limitation here is your sight. But you must step beyond the veils, even of consciousness, to understand your sight has nothing to do with your human eyes, and it is much more than simple intuition and remembrance, for we are ancient, yet nova. New, and it is not the genesis of the Jew that will set you free on your path to the beginning. This is the end, where the ink of the scholar writes a new synapse, a new way on the pathless path, where in stillness, from nothing, you will move your light to create your vision and direction without limitation. And then you will see what it is you can actually